This is extremely concerning. Only roughly 60% of Canadians attribute climate change and global warming to human activity. And the reason it's so concerning is that this belief is a 9-point decrease from last year, which means that over the last year, all of the crazy wildfires and all the crazy climate change stuff that's been happening, after all of that, 10% less Canadians think that climate change was caused by humans, with 27% believing that climate change is entirely natural and 8% believing that climate change is still a theory and not yet proven. So at the very least, 92% of Canadians agree that climate change is a real thing that's happening. So where's this lack of belief coming from? Well, 82% and 81% of Liberal and NDP voters believe that climate change is man-caused. And there it is, only 47% of Conservatives feel the same way, with only 58% of people in BC believing that climate change is man-caused, with that number also being quite low in Manitoba and Alberta. And 2/3 of Canadians believe that the climate crisis is a major crisis, and this perception is stronger among Canadians aged 55 and older, with 71% of people viewing it this way. Why do young people not think this is a major crisis? Probably because of stagnant wages, the higher increased cost of living, and as well as the fact that nobody can afford to buy houses anymore, but that's besides the point, one crisis at a time. And 68% of Canadians want companies to do more, and 67% want government to do more. But one of the major problems is that 60% of Canadians believe that individuals and consumers also bear responsibility for addressing these issues. Listen, it does not matter how much you lower your personal carbon footprint. It doesn't matter if you stop flying. It doesn't matter if you recycle. It does not matter what you as an individual do, because the vast majority of carbon emissions that come out of this world, that come out of this country, are from corporations. But a good thing to note is that 3 in 5 parents have reported that they increased their recycling efforts after conversations with their children motivated them to do so. And there have actually been studies on this that show that the best way to change a parent's mind about things like the climate crisis, recycling, and more is to have their children show how important it is to them. Here's my piece of advice to you. There is actually one thing that you can do to lower your personal carbon footprint that might actually make a difference. The number one way for you to reduce your personal carbon footprint is to use your green bin and to get rid of your food wastes appropriately. If we properly compost our food waste and we make sure that we're not putting that stuff in the garbage where it goes into landfills where methane is then released, that is the number one way for you as an individual to reduce your carbon footprint. After that, it's literally up to corporations to stop polluting our atmosphere. I guess it's up to half of the Conservatives to convince the other half that climate change is real and man-made and that we can do something to stop it. Because the belief that climate change is natural is literally a conspiracy that is being pushed by ExxonMobil and other oil and gas companies. Because they want us to give up. They want us to stop trying. And for these people, it is just easier to give up and think that there is no way to stop it because there's nothing that we can do. I don't mean to end this one on a bummer, but it's a bummer.